This is very ASMR. I feel like this is ASMR
Oh,
vibes.
yeah, that's true.
I love ASMR.
I don't.
Yeah, most people don't.
It makes me want to vomit.
All right.
Go on.
Well-
Go off, queen.
Welcome to Menty Breaky.
Epi 3.
Epi 3E. I don't know.
It's just how you say 3.
Yeah. I feel like in the last episode, I was like thinking a lot about the editing of it.
We're not even going to think about editing at all. We're just going to be free this time.
We're just going to be young, wild, and free.
Yeah, like Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
She used to be young, wild, and free.
I hate that song.
Me too. I'm like, oh, we all just think we're supposed to like it because like Miley Cyrus is supposed to be like deep and introspective. If that was just someone's first song, we'd be like, this isn't good.
It's a garbage song.
Garbaggio.
Garbage message.
Musico.
Garbage message.
I know. I used to be fun, but now I'm old. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, like, sucks to be you then.
I'm also like, you're 30.
I think she was like kind of singing about her mom though.
What?
Yeah. They had this like whole special camera rig. So while she recorded the song, she could watch her mom dancing with someone. Just like write a good song, you know?
I don't understand this whole. Why was she watching her mom dance to get inspiration about
I
how her
think
mom's
so.
like an
Like,
old bitch now?
No, okay. So this is my theory. Remember the Wrecking Ball video?
Yes.
How she cried in it?
Yes.
Because she was thinking about her dead dog and not her recent breakup, Liam. That was
Yes.
such funny tea.
Yeah,
when everyone's like, oh, she's crying over Liam. She's like, no, it was my dog. Great. I love that.
She like waited
And
for
they're
the
like,
dog
not
to
Liam.
die.
And she's like, who? And they're like, your ex that you just broke up with. She's like, oh, right. No, that's fine. So I feel like she wanted to do that again and be because everyone like praised how emotional she was. So she's like, yeah, I need another close up of me being emotional for this song. So they like put this whole setup so she could watch her mom dance. And it was like, yeah, but the song sucks. Wrecking Ball is a fucking great song.
Wrecking Ball is a great song. Could you imagine your daughter coming up to you and being like, hey, I need inspo about when I'm going to be old and sad. So could you like dance?
That is sad for her because I'm sure she puts a lot of effort into staying pretty and hot. And she's like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess. Everyone was loving it. And I was like,
Were they actually? I change
It-
the station every time it comes
it
on.
got played a lot. But then like Adele and people were like, oh my God, I'm listening to You Used to Be Young.
Don't you
It's
feel
so
like that's
powerful."
fake though? Don't you think Miley was like, hey, you're my friend. Couldn't you can't say that you like the song?
No, I think we were all just supposed to like it because it's like,
It's
oh,
Miley.
Miley's growing up and like we have to encourage her. And it's like, I don't really care.
I liked the one when she got back together with Liam for Malibu.
I didn't love Malibu. It was fine, but I'm just like, oh, you have a house in Malibu. Good for you.
I know.
It was a little braggy to me.
Well, you know what was interesting? I actually remember looking at Miley Cyrus at that time being like, oh my God, she's so happy and like her life is perfect. She has Liam and she has this song and she looked so pretty in the music video. I think 2 months after that, she had the divorce. So it's like, you never know.
Right after Malibu came out.
Yeah.
She was like,
Jokes.
my house burnt down and I'm getting a divorce. And we're like, oh shit.
Oh, shoot. I think Miley Cyrus is a Menty Breaky queen.
Yeah, I would say she's a Menty Breaky queen.
Because-
Because she also, like, her rebound, everyone was like, girl, what?
Who was her rebound again?
What's his face's wife?
Oh, Brody Jenner's
Brody
wife?
Jenner's wife that wasn't actually his wife.
Yeah.
That was her rebound. And
Yeah.
then the funniest thing was when they like, because no one even cared or like knew, they just like spent a summer together. And
Yeah.
then because nobody cared or knew, his wife wrote a article being like, my summer with a pop star. Because like no one gave her attention. No
That's
one was
so
like, oh my
funny.
God, they're fucking.
Yeah.
And she wanted everyone to be like that. So she
Yeah.
had to like write a whole article about her summer with Miley, but not actually say Miley. But everyone was like, oh, you mean Miley? And I think she put it on Tumblr or some weird place too.
She
Tumblr
was a
post
weirdo.
about they all the Jenners are
And relations.
cracked out.
Well, because I watched all that stuff. I watched The Hills. I watched Kardashians.
Yeah.
And Brody was just like always dating these random women.
To get on TV. He was obsessed.
He dated like Avril Lavigne. And then he brought around this girl, Caitlyn. And we were like, okay. And then he was like, yeah, we're getting married. And I was like, what about her are you going to get married to? No offense. We love women. We love women on Menty Breaky. But then like she Yeah, went and like fucked Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, that was great.
The artists that make their way onto Menty Breaky without a plan, Miley Cyrus, Ariana Grande, both of them have just come up on Menty Breaky. We have not had them in our outline.
Never, not once.
And those are queens.
And speaking of Ariana, she released the title of her album, Eternal Sunshine, because she's obsessed with Jim Carrey and that's his movie.
Right.
And someone's like, it's a nod to Mac Miller, her dead ex, because it was apparently his favorite movie. Oh. She's still Menty Breaky strong. Well, if she's dedicating albums to her ex's favorite movie, who's dead. When I saw that, I was like, hell yeah, girl.
Let's go.
Stay in the pocket.
We want to see what the fuck is she going to do next.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought that she was going to dedicate an entire album to her dead ex? Not me.
No, but to her dead ex's favorite movie.
Right. But am I surprised? No.
No. And I love that for her.
I do think that Ariana Grande listens to this podcast.
Yeah, she keeps on like
referencing.
Yeah, referencing us in her songs. And like, it's like, okay.
It's like, wait, they want to see what I do next. Let me just name my album Eternal Sunshine after my dead ex's favorite movie. And we're like, thank you, Ari.
Every time she does anything or references Mac Miller, I get so excited because it's just like, that's what I'm fucking here on earth for. Yeah. That's why I don't kill myself. Yeah. So Ariana can reference Mac Miller once again. And I can be like, what the hell?
It gives you life.
It does. Like anytime anything goes down with her dead ex, I'm like, hell yeah.
Like, hell yeah, girl.
That's why I wake up in the morning.
So we received very nice feedback from the first 2 episodes of Menty Breaky. Yeah. And one of the things that Hannah's friend said was, when you talked about only being able to photograph on one side of your face, I remember at my wedding when you forced me to stand on the other side at my wedding because you could not be photographed on that side of your face. Hannah, would you like to elaborate on that?
Yeah, people don't get how serious I am about this. I'm like, I will not be shot on my right side. She's been my friend for 20 years. I'm like, I will drop you on your wedding day if you photograph my right side. Because me and her, unfortunately, have the same good side.
Right.
But I think my bad side is worse than her bad side. So I'm like,
deal.
My broken jaw trumps whatever insecurity you have.
What happened to it?
My jaw?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh.
That's the whole funny part is when I found out. He's like, yeah, you broke your jaw at some point.
Oh, your dentist said that to you, right?
Yeah. And he's like, do you know why? And then I was like, no. And he's like, ask your parents. And I'm like, well, if they haven't told me yet, like they probably like
don't know.
Punted me down the stairs at some point because they were annoyed with me.
Yeah.
My mom thinks I was walking and I tripped and I smashed my face off the sidewalk. And they did take me to a dentist, but the dentist was just like incompetent and was like, she's all good.
Okay, you know what's funny? I had a really shit dentist too when I was a kid that like didn't. Maybe this is going to be rude to my mom, whatever. But basically told my mom that I didn't have to brush my teeth until I was like
so funny
in grade 1.
Yeah. And
I don't know. She was a first time mother. Like I'm an only child. Yeah. So my mom's like, okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't brush my teeth.
Yeah.
And then I went to another dentist and they were like, you have 10 cavities.
That's crazy.
I had so many cavities. They had to put me under. Like I got like laughing gassed at like when I was 8 years old and they just filled all of my, I guess they were baby teeth at the time because now I like don't. They were like, yeah, she has to brush her fucking teeth.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well, now we know the story behind your broken jaw. And another piece of feedback that we received from Epi 1 was that everyone really liked the most pathetic thing that we've done for a man segment.
Yeah. Everyone wants to like confide in us now about their most pathetic thing.
I love
it. Honestly, girls, we as a fucking gender need to step it up because some of this shit is sad. No, it's bad.
I did love the connection to the girlies community when they're like, oh my God, yeah. They're like, Hannah's so pathetic. I'm like, yeah. They're like, you're so pathetic. I'm like, if you want this to be a recurring segment, I can promise you Hannah and I will not run out of things to talk about.
I won't. And I think it should be a recurring segment because even people were kind of like, yours wasn't that bad. Like mine's worse. I'm like, oh, that was just like the most pathetic thing I had done that day of the week. Like,
no offense, but when you were telling yours, I was like, she could do better.
Like I've done so many pathetic things for men.
You were like, I drove.
I'm like, this was just the one that popped into my head, is that I drove to pick up my ex on Christmas from his family's Christmas, and I wasn't allowed in, and then he fell asleep drunk in the car ride home, and then just left me there.
You being insecure, you're like,
Yeah.
I can be more pathetic,
But
I
like,
promise.
if you think that's the I'm like, that's just like one of a million examples I have of me absolutely doing something undeserved for a man. I have my ex's name tattooed on me. I was thinking
that's
this.
a good one, yeah.
I know, that's why I was like, I have my ex's name tattooed on me. Like, trust me. Like,
well, it's also
I've
huge.
been pathetic.
Right.
He didn't ask me to get it. I surprised him with it. And I think he fucked another girl the day I was getting it. Is that pathetic enough for you?
Let's back up a couple points. Number one, you surprised him with it.
Oh, by the way,
That's a
two
move.
other girls had gotten tattoos for him while I was dating him. See? Oh, Monica's jaws dropped open.
My jaw's about to break. We're about to have matching
we're both
jaws.
gonna have broken jaws from this app.
Hold on.
Yeah.
But he was not. Was he dating other girls when he was dating you, or just fucking?
We were well, Monica, glad you asked. I would love to know the answer to that. That is something that keeps me up at night. Do you want to message him right now? See if he'll tell you. We were open because we were living in different locations, and it was always like, sex is fine, but like, don't date these women. Obviously, he was dating these women.
Do you think the other girls also surprised him with the tattoos?
They both surprised him with the tattoos.
This is a wild man.
So I was the only girl that he got a tattoo for. I was his first tattoo. He got my initials on his wrist.
Oh, okay.
And it was before I got his name on me.
Okay.
So slightly less pathetic.
I think that the listeners will agree that you've redeemed yourself in terms of most pathetic thing you've done for a man.
Yeah.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
How did you like finally end that? Like, how did you get to a point where you were just like, that's it?
We were living apart and he was just like going nuts with girls. I caught on that he was basically dating these girls again. And I was just like, then like, we're done here. And then he started seeing his current girlfriend like 2 weeks later. He's like, I'll never get over you. And then like 2 weeks later, he started seeing a girl and they're still together. So good for them.
I wonder if she has a tattoo.
I still wonder. Okay, this is so psycho of me, but I'll like go through her photos of him to see if he still has my initials. And to this day, unfortunately, his wrist has not appeared in any of her photos.
Interesting.
I want to know if he's covered it up or not.
I want to know too.
I'm so desperate. I truly try not to go on her Instagram because he doesn't really have an Instagram, so I try not to go on hers.
Yeah.
Because I am just like, whatever, mazel tov to you both. Like, you can go die now.
Yeah.
But like, did he cover up the tattoo though?
Yeah.
I want to know.
I know. Well, it's like you can get it lasered off, right? But it's like painful and
I
expensive.
wonder if he would. I honestly don't know if he would.
It kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you ever watched Vanderpump Rules, but there's this guy named Jax on it, and he got Stassi's name tattooed on him, and she was like, oh my God, he's like in love with me, because he didn't have any other female's name. And then over the years, the seasons, he just gets like so many girls.
It's so sad. Because everyone, when I'm like, my ex's name, everyone immediately goes, well, you can get it covered up. I'm like, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not with him.
Right.
So when they're like, you can get it covered up, I'm like, I'd rather not, because it will probably just look like shit then, and I'd rather have it look nice than garbage.
Yeah.
But then I'll like ask guys, I'm like, does this bother you? They always are like, no, I don't really care. But I'm like,
I think it does.
I think it must bother them a little bit.
I feel like it's like territorial kind of.
Yeah, I guess.
I want her to post his wrist like really
I want
badly.
to so bad. Let's do a live check. I haven't been on her Instagram in a while.
Guys, we're doing a live Instagram
We're going to do
stalk
a live Instagram stalk of my ex's current girlfriend. Very pretty.
To see if his tattoo of Hannah is still on his wrist.
Name though.
You forget her name?
It's so hard because every time I look her up, I always make sure to delete the search so that I won't look her up
That's
again.
so healthy of you.
Yeah, and then I clearly
that you forget her name.
Okay, who would have it? Got it.
Fuck
All right. Fuck yeah. Let's look for a wrist. We're doing a live peek. Wouldn't that be so funny if they had broken up?
How do you feel right now looking at your ex's new girlfriend on a podcast? What are your emotions?
I mean, I've stalked her so many times. My heart rate is slightly up, but I'm just like, this is just like not a good picture of him anyway. So good. So his wrists, unfortunately, are not out in that one.
Bullshit.
I know, it's so annoying.
Just put out your wrist.
I've even like slowed down videos to try and find this. No, it's always the front of his wrist and not ever the back. Like, I guess it's an odd shot to have, you know?
Yeah, I guess so. But like, it would be nice.
It'd be nice if they could just give me some confirmation one way or the other.
Do you think that guys or people from your past are, I guess you don't post as much on social media as I do, but do you think they're like following your comedy journey or like your social media or like this podcast?
I don't know that's what I wonder because I'm talking about all of them. I think they follow my comedy a little bit, but like, I don't know that they'd listen to this podcast.
Yeah, I don't think that people from my past are like watching or listening because they're like happily married.
Yeah, like that's what I think. Like with this one guy whose ex or whose girlfriend's Instagram I was just on, I don't really think he gives a fuck. Like I think he has a very robust life in Amsterdam with his girlfriend. Because you have this question on these printed pages. ASMR. The pages that Monica printed out for this podcast.
The outline.
Like, what would you do if you saw your most toxic ex?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I just hang out with them.
Would you?
Yeah, like I've hung out with one of my toxic exes. And it honestly was closure. Because I was like, you suck.
Don't you love when that happens?
Yeah.
When it's like you run into someone that you feel whatever with, and then it's like they suck, and you're like, oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Thank you for that.
Yeah, I was like, you suck. I was like, why was I ever obsessed with you? You're not that good looking. It was great. I was like, oh, you're so small, you know?
Well, you create them in your head.
Yes. Guys are kind of better at just like not doing that, you know, like not creating this whole thing. And they just like, the second something isn't in front of them, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas girls, we're like, oh
my God, I created Cinderella in my head.
I know.
It's such a funny concept to think that the closure is just like seeing them and being like, oh yeah, they're shit. And being like, oh, I actually just don't like you.
Yeah, like you're not that funny.
Yeah.
You're not that interesting.
Yeah.
You have no calf muscles.
Right. You just actually suck. And then you're like, wow, thank you so much for the closure.
Exactly.
You know what I always want to do? I want to take all the guys I've been attached to in my life, put them in a room.
I love that you don't even say dated. You say,
we didn't date.
All the guys I've been attached to.
Because I didn't date them.
Is your dad going to be in this room too?
No, because listen to the...
Okay, go on.
This is why he can't be in the room. Mm-hmm. Because I want them to all be in the room. I want to be watching the room. And I want them to have to figure out what they all have in common.
Right.
And if my dad's there, they would realize.
Right. So he'd ruin the surprise. The ultimate. When they figure it out, then they get to meet him. Well,
I want it to be like a reality show or like a contestant like money making game where it's like the longer it takes them, the more money they lose. So they're like frantically trying to figure out what they have in common.
But wouldn't there be two guys in there that would just know immediately?
No.
No, really? No one would know? No one knows about each other?
No. They have all run in like different circles.
If I put all the guys I'd ever slept with in a room, it'd be hilarious because there's a lot of comics.
They just run a comedy show?
They would start an open mic. I would immediately be like, I'm headlining this. It's not that many. It would be a decent show. It would run smoothly.
It would run smoothly.
You know what? I might drop in.
Yeah.
I might watch
I'd do a guest spot.
You would do a guest spot.
I've honestly never really dated a guy that I found funny. Or like been attached to a guy that I found funny.
Yeah, there wouldn't be any funny people in your room. Honestly, I like my room better. I'd actually just like to hang out in my room. I think
like your room better
time.
too.
Do you want to hang out in my room?
I would love to hang out in your room.
I don't want to hang out in your room.
I don't want to hang out in my room either.
People always say that too. They want to put all their like guys they've slept with in a group chat or something.
Yeah.
I think girls have done that.
It's
and then they're
funny.
like, ha ha ha. Yeah.
Do we want to just do a quick Taylor Swift and article segment and then stop?
If you want, The Taylor Swift thing isn't that good.
She got a jacket. Did you see it?
No.
Okay, well, that's why you don't think it's that good, because you didn't look up
wore
the
a
jacket.
jacket.
Okay, well, if you looked up the jacket, it's really cool. And Travis Kelce's teammate
designed it.
The
wife designed it or something?
Yes, thank you for actually looking into our outline that much.
Well, I read it, and I was like, nah, don't care.
Well, it was a really cool jacket that she wore. So that's our Taylor Swift
the Taylor
update.
Swift is just she wore a jacket
It's
that
a
someone else
it's a cool
designed.
jacket.
That's her whole life. She's wearing jackets other people design.
Cool.
This? The big 87 one?
Yeah, it's cool.
It's fine.
All right. Well,
I
fuck
feel
me.
like give me a pencil and paper and I can design that. I can design this. Okay. Do you want to cover this article?
Sure.
Great. Now she's mad because I don't give a shit about Taylor Swift's new, very beautiful jacket.
Thank you. Okay. So the article, I basically just wanted to go further into avoidant attached because I feel like if you had to pick one, anxious or avoidant, which one would you say you're more? Because I know we discussed that we kind of go back and forth.
I don't know.
All right. So I think that I'm more anxious. So I actually find avoidant to be really interesting just because I'm like, what the fuck?
But I think I'm more anxious.
Okay.
But you think with you, I'm more avoidant or with people?
Well, no, I think it depends on the dynamic.
Okay.
Like sometimes you're anxious.
Yeah, I think I'm more anxious attached. If I look at my romantic history. Yeah.
In terms of romance. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to dig deeper into avoidant, and I found this really weird study that they did where they were like, it was found that when avoidants are accepted, because avoidants kind of go into it with like they don't want to connect to someone because they're scared, right? So they become avoidant. And they're like, when avoidants feel accepted, they actually like open up and it's a positive experience for them and maybe can get over their attachment and get into a secure relationship. And I was like, how in a study did they make people feel accepted? Like what, like did they fake acceptment?
You just want to know so that you can trick avoidance into liking you?
Oh, 100%.
You're like, so how did you do this?
Yeah.
How did you make avoidance become attached?
Yeah.
I need to know the exact recipe.
I was like, how do we accept to lead to positive experience?
Tell me exactly what you did to make this avoidance become attached.
Yeah. So from this, well, I only read the abstract because like as if I'm going to read a whole fucking study. But basically, keep showering your avoidance with love.
Oh God, this is so bad for you.
Tell them there's a study.
You should not have read this study.
Tell them there's a study.
Okay, I'll text back even more.
I'm gonna have to cut so much of this fucking episode.
Yeah, okay, I'll send another text right now.
It said in the study that if I shower you with love,
you would.
It's
like
a positive.
me.
It's a positive experience.
It's a positive experience.
That's what
I'm sure it is a fucking positive experience for them.
Well, because here's the thing: is you can look at it and say, "Oh, people that are anxious attached, they just want love so badly." But so do avoidance. Mm-hmm. It's just showing it in like a different way.
I wonder.
Well, it's like they're scared to attach to people because they're like, you're going to hurt me. So therefore they don't attach. But what the study also said was that you cannot live in isolation. Whereas avoidants try to convince themselves that they can.
Yeah.
So in the study, they were like, we put avoidance, it was like they were fucking like animals. And they were like, we put avoidance, I don't know, in social situations where they felt accepted and it was like positive for them.
Yeah, no shit.
What did they do? They put them at like a fucking
and every
party?
human in the whole world. They're like, when we accept them, they feel good. Wow.
But I just wonder how they got to that in like a study format.
Yeah, I wonder that too, because it's also just like avoidance. A lot of times when they are accepted or given the stuff, they push away and they avoid. So it's like, how did they get to the point where they were like,
this is
I
positive.
like this.
Exactly.
That's so funny. How many men are you going to be sending this study to now? You cannot live as an island. It's been scientifically proven. You must marry me now. Thank you.
That's the name of the study too. No man is an island. The need to belong in dismissing avoidant attachment style.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, based on this study, you
are dismissed.
love me.
Yeah. Based on the study, you are having a positive experience right now when I send you the 9th text in a row that you've left unread.
This is acceptance.
This is a positive experience for you. You're welcome.
This is acceptance.
Yes, I'm
love
accepting you, and you are enjoying it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. That's been Menty Breaky. Get ready for 9 texts in a row.
To any man that's ever looked in Monica's direction, get ready.
If you want to see the reality show of me locking all of the men that I've been attached to in a room, like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe we can get it picked up. Yeah, at Monica Gross Comedy. Maybe we can get the show picked up.
And if you want to see the comedy show where I put on all the comics I've ever slept with, which honestly, you would be so lucky to be at that show.
That would be a great show. I'd pay money.
At Hannah.Valdoon. I would pay $5 to see that show.
I would pay, honestly, if you charge 10.
You would pay 10?
10 max.
10 max in a good venue.
10 max in a good venue. Like, if it was at like a shit venue, 5.
Snacks included.
Yeah. Snacks included 10 for sure.
10.
Hundo P10. Okay. At Menty Breaky. Podcast every Wednesday, clips all the time. I'm working on it. It's fucking hard. Have a great fucking day, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye.